Hello, welcome to this deeper into the Wasabi Account Control Manager video. My name is Neil, I'm a Senior Systems Engineer here in the UK. So in the first Wasabi video we went over what Wacom is, and today we're going to go through a bit more on how the service works and then a little walk around the Wacom portal. So when we're setting up Wacom, what we have is a control account and the Wacom portal. So we set up an empty control account. So this is an actual Wasabi account, but we call it the control account. And we assign some capacity to that control account. Then when you sign up for the Wasabi Account Control Manager, that capacity gets assigned to this account. So when the users in Wacom create sub-accounts, those sub-accounts themselves have their own users, their own buckets, their own policies, their own sub-accounts and everything, but they then start storing data. So as they store data, the amount of data that they consume comes off of the capacity that's been assigned to the control account. So if we look here, the RCS capacity assigned to this control account is 100. However, because they've created this sub-account and this sub-account's used 40 terabytes, the 40 terabytes gets used in this RCS capacity, so the remaining capacity is 60 terabytes. Now the sub-account doesn't see any billing information. All the billing information is held up with the inside the Wacom portal. So now the Wacom administrator goes ahead and creates another sub-account. Again, that's a completely segregated sub-account. The sub-accounts cannot see each other or interact with each other in any way. So he sets up a completely new sub-account for another customer. That customer logs in, they create their buckets, they create their users, they create their policies and their access keys. And then they start uploading data. So in this instance, this second sub-account has uploaded 30 terabytes of data. So you can see what's now happened to the RCS capacity. Started off at 100. The sum of both of the sub-accounts is 70. So now remaining is 30 terabytes. And again, all the accounting information for sub-account number 2 there is held up in the account manager console. So now, the administrators of Wacom can also create trial sub-accounts. Now these trial accounts are normal Wasabi accounts. You still create users, you still create buckets, policies, access keys, everything, but they are trial account. They're for your customers to try Wasabi. Now you can create a trial account in the Wacom console from between 1 to 5 terabytes and 30, 60 or 90 days. Now one thing you'll notice, so this trial account here has uploaded 5 terabytes of data, but notice that hasn't come off of the RCS capacity. So trial accounts are given to you as a complementary selling capacity amount from Wasabi. So you can create as many trial accounts as you like, knowing that it's not going to come off of your capacity. Now the cool thing about trial accounts is if the customer likes it and they want to convert it into a paid account, they can do that. It just needs to be flipped over in the Wacom console from a trial account to a paid account. Once they've done that, they can then start uploading their data. So now you can see in this instance we've got 3 sub-accounts, all with different capacities of data, which adds up to 115 terabytes of used capacity. Now that's gone over the RCS capacity assigned to this, this control account by 15 terabytes. So what will happen is there will be an overage charge. So the overage charge goes off of our list price of currently $5.99 per terabyte per month. However, if you get a add-on before the end of the month, then you don't pay the overage charges at all. All that will do is add on the capacity to the RCS amount, the overage charges go away, and then you've got a remaining number of terabytes. So now we'll drop into the portal to have a quick look. So this is the Account Control Manager portal. So there are only two tabs up here, sub-accounts and invoices. So sub-accounts show you all of the sub-accounts that have been created and information about those accounts. And invoices will show you all of the sub-accounts and what their monthly invoice amounts would be. At the top here, you've got some information. So the first box tells you how many paid accounts you've got. So in this demo system, we've got 212 paid accounts. So these are sub-account customers that are consuming paid capacity. We've also got 4 on trial accounts. So these are the accounts which are, for people to try Wasabi or test Wasabi. And we'll go through how to create a trial account and where you can see the trial accounts in the sub-account list in a moment. We've got an average total storage usage per account. And then the interesting box on the end is the total storage. So this is the active storage and what's currently going through the deleted storage process added up. So if you've got your control account with 25 terabytes in it and you're only using 11, you know that you've got plenty of space to create more sub-accounts for customers. So when we look at a sub-account down here, you can see there's lots on our demo system. You get some basic information around the account. So the person's name, their email address, how much storage they're consuming, how much deleted storage they've got going through. A utilization figure, which is only a tracking figure. This isn't a hard limit. We let you put a tracking figure on your customers so you can see how much capacity they're consuming against maybe what they told you they were going to use. So here you can see this account here, and Tony, they said they were going to use 2 terabytes and they're actually currently at 1.87. So they're getting near the top end of the 2 terabytes. However, if they go over 2 terabytes, it's not going to suddenly stop. It just means that this bar will go a darker red and this percentage mark will be over 100. So, the front page is here to give you a very quick indicator of what your accounts are doing and how much data they've stored out of what they told you they were going to store. And then some information around when the account was created, whether it's a paid account or trial account, and when the record was updated. Wasabi Account Control Manager records only get updated once a day at the moment. We are looking to bring that figure down. So this will tell you when the last time that the customer's record was updated. Now if we look at one of the sub-accounts here, I'll pick my one, Neil. I can look inside this account more. I can see some more information around the account itself. So again, is total storage, how many objects have been stored, what the last invoice amount was, and how long they've been a customer. I can also see information around, again, their active storage deleted, how many terabytes were written, how many terabytes were read, egress, ingress, and API calls. Now, we don't charge for these things, egress, ingress, and API. However, we show you them on this page here so you can see exactly what's going on with your sub-account customers. You can also look at the individual buckets. So this is a good place to come if you've, to see exactly what buckets your customers have got, how much storage they've got in each bucket, objects, and also, interestingly, the region in which the bucket was created. Because quite often customers do make a mistake and they'll create a bucket in the wrong region and then possibly say that, things might be running a bit slower than they thought they would. Well, this is a very quick place to come and say, well, what you've actually done there is created your bucket in Asia as opposed to in Europe where you probably should create the bucket. So it's a good place to come and see the buckets as well. And again, you can drill down into the individual buckets to see some more information around the storage in the bucket itself, object counts, egress, ingress, API calls for the individual buckets. So at the end of every month, we generate an invoice for the sub-account customer. This isn't automatically sent to the customer. This is only for users of the Wacom portal to be able to see. But you can see, what your customer is using every month. We generate this figure going off of our list price. And you can then take this figure and you can invoice your customers as you need to. You can also drop these figures out to a CSV, JSON or Excel file if you need to give them to another person, an accounts person or something like that. Now the account tab will let you change that tracking figure. So this is where we just change the figure if the customer needs more, or have said they want to purchase more storage. Well, you might just up their tracking figure for them, and you can put information in around the customer, where they live, what their business address is, tax IDs, things like that. Also in the account tab, you have the ability to suspend the account or delete the account if they don't want to be a customer anymore. Just be aware, deleting the account will delete all of the data that's stored in it. So you have to be very careful with the roles when you create roles and permissions for Wacom, only to give a certain number of people the ability to have the capability of deleting sub accounts. And last, we've got the regions tab. So this is where you decide which regions your customers can actually create buckets in. If you know they're only a European customer and they're only likely to create buckets in any of our European locations, well, you can just disable all the other locations worldwide, just to help them, not select the wrong region. And again, this is just a simple toggle just to enable or disable the regions. Now on the Invoices tab, we show you all your sub-account customers in one go and their monthly billing amounts. And again, this can be dropped out to a CSV or JSON or an Excel, and you can also change the time period on the amount of data that you wish to see. So generally, if you've got lots of customers and you're billing them monthly, this is where you'll come to generate that. When that monthly bill gets generated, to drop that out to a CSV file and then create your invoices going off of that. So to create a sub account is very simple. There's a blue button here on the right on the sub accounts homepage. Just click that. So you give the account a name. I'll just go for neilsimpkins2@gmail.com, as I've already used neilsimpkins1. Oh, wrong place. That needs to go in the email box. Apologies for that. We'll just take that out of there. Then you set a password for the customer. There we go. Nice password set. Now, here's where you decide if they're going to be a paid customer. You set the tracking figure for the storage. So if this customer said, I want 300 terabytes, this is where I come in and set their purchase tracking figure at 300. Or this customer might be a trial account, in which case I just put a little tick box in the on trial box. And as I said, you can pick 30, 60, 90 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terabytes, and that figure doesn't come off of your paid capacity. So let's go ahead and do that. I shall do a 1 terabyte capacity, and I will go for 30 days. So I'm just going to copy this email address to save me typing it in a minute, and we'll go ahead and create that account. So we'll see up here it says that that sub account has been successfully created, and now if I come and search for this account, I should be able to find this one here, Neil Simpkins 2, which is the account I've just created. And again, if I open a Wasabi console and just go and try to log in, oops, don't want that in there, as that account. Dashlane likes annoying me. You can log in and you can see it's a full Wasabi account. You still get all the users, groups, roles, policies, buckets you get with a normal account. The only thing you don't get with a normal account here, you see the billing tab. However, because this is a Wacom sub account, all the billing information is held up in the Wacom portal. So now, looking at this on trial account, remember I said if we go to the account tab, the on trial account does give you a few different options. So you can update the trial. So if this customer says, yep, 1 terabyte wasn't enough, I need a little bit more, you can come and, up them to whatever they need, 3, 4, 5 terabytes, whatever they need. And again, if they said, well, we were a bit late doing our testing, so, could we have a bit more time? Absolutely, you can come and update their trial so it gives them a longer time period. Now, if they get to the end of the trial and they like Wasabi, well, then you can just come into the convert to a paid account, and this is just going to flip that account over from a trial account to a paid account. You'll see the 2 buttons have disappeared, and now we're back to the Manage Sub Account buttons. So that's now converted the Neil Simpkins account into a Neil Simpkins 2, into a full paid account, ready to go, 25 terabytes for the customer to log in and use. Last but not least, because we've got those tracking figures, we can actually have some email notifications that get delivered if a sub account goes over a certain utilization figure. So I've got mine enabled here at 95%. I want to know any of the sub accounts that go over 95%. I want the system to email me telling me that I should possibly look at this customer because they're getting up near their limit. Now these three figures can be changed. These are the ones that come out of the box. However, if you go onto the account tab, you can decide, I don't really care if someone goes over 50% utilized. I might want this one at 75. I might change this one to 85 and keep that one at 95. There we go. So I've just changed the three figures there. So if I come back to my profile, we'll see that the watermark figures have now changed. So if I want to know that a account goes over 85%, I can just enable that email toggle. I can also have a daily report sent to me every morning telling me how much my customers have used the previous day and also how far along their tracking figure they currently are. So I'm going to turn these off because I just like the 95% one on. So there we go. That was a very quick look at the portal, a dive into the individual sub accounts to have a look at what buckets they've got and what kind of data they're storing. Quick look at the invoices, and then a quick view on how to create the sub accounts there, whether they're trial accounts or full paid accounts. So I hope that was useful, and as I said on all my other videos, if you've got any questions, please feel free to drop me a line on neil@wasabi.com and I will answer them for you. Thank you very much for listening.